Hello everybody and welcome back to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christine, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a podcast with Autumn Calabrese and what happened with BODi. If you ever wondered what happened behind the scenes when Beachbody stopped doing the network marketing side, the recruitment side of their business model, they went full affiliate and were one of the first network marketing companies to shut down the recruitment aspect of the business model, then this is the video for you. Autumn, together with her podcast host, has a podcast called Everything's Perfect. And in this case, we're going to take a look what she has to say about Beachbody and what happened behind the scenes. I found that rather interesting, and we will go through the podcast. It is a long one, so grab a coffee, grab water, go for a long walk with the doggies, take care of whatever you need to take care of, grab a glass of wine, whatever you prefer. We're going to listen to this one. A big thank you to a very dedicated anti-MLM creator, Vanessa Pink Moon Witch, on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. I will link everything down below. Go ahead and check her out. If you like this content, you will love her content as well. She's very dedicated. She has a lot of insights and she's willing to share these why network marketing companies are bad. And she pointed out that this podcast exists and also this podcast episode exists. So thank you, Vanessa, for pointing this out. Autumn has so far never publicly spoken out what happened behind the scenes when Beachbody stopped the recruitment aspect of the business model. Autumn Calabrese is a super trainer for Beachbody. So she is one of the people who are responsible for creating the workout programs and also the nutritional programs. Although she herself, and she got a lot of criticism for that, although she herself doesn't even have the credential to do so, but she always claims she works together with the experts, and that's why her nutritional programs are also very factual and very well done. I beg to differ because her nutritional programs specifically are some of the most restrictive ones. One of the programs that she is responsible for, besides the gut protocol, is the one where you put food into little colored containers, and that way you can measure how much you can eat. It's a very, very restrictive program and in my opinion very harmful, and she is willing to support that. I do have a not so favorable opinion about Autumn, but I'm also willing and able to listen to this podcast and to see what does she have to say, because during the time when BODi transitioned, she was coming out with a new program, with a new workout program, and this must have hit her pretty hard. So we're going to get into this thing. It's a long one, like I said. So let's get started. What happened with BODi?
We got a lot of alcohol left over. We need another party.
Yeah, we might drink a little after this.
This is the one we should have pulled it out for. It is the episode you guys have all been asking for, the most requested one since we announced that we were doing this podcast. What happened to BODi? Hi.
Hey, boo.
Hi, boo. Welcome back. First episode of being 40.
I know. I don't look a day over
You don't.
39.
You look
Just
fantastic.
a couple days over. Thank you. I feel amazing. Like, we just had my 40th birthday. That's not what we're here to talk about today, but it was the most amazing birthday I've ever had. You threw it for me, and it was just next level.
We partied like rock stars.
We sure did.
I sure did pay that price. Let me tell you, the next day I was...
I was screaming the whole time. I'm like, was I just literally screaming at the top of my lungs to everyone? Because the next day I was like, oh, I can barely speak.
No, seriously, I had like no voice. I felt like somebody took 2x4s to my legs. I was like, I haven't moved my hips like that in a hot second.
I got in the hot tub last night and I was like, oh, I need a soak. Somebody bring me some Epsom salt fast.
Stat. We got a lot of alcohol left over. We need another party.
Yeah, we might drink a little after this.
This is the one we should have pulled it out for.
Seriously.
It is the episode you guys have all been asking for, the most requested one since we announced that we were doing this podcast. What happened to BODi?
Yeah, and it looks like it is really the most interesting one. She has almost 3,000 subscribers with this podcast, and this one got over 20,000, over 21,000 views, whereas the other podcasts, they average at different numbers. No shade there, but with somebody who has such a big following, I would expect her to also perform better. I mean, maybe it is because the podcast game is finally getting into saturation and not a lot of people want to watch podcast over podcast over podcast. But this for sure, view-wise, it was uploaded on the 22nd of July and is for sure the most watched podcast. So it's not a surprise, high demand. People wanted to know from her perspective what happened behind the scenes with Beachbody.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it. It's been like 9 months since the shift happened, since the change happened. I've avoided it like the plague. Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. For me, it's like, I know that it was something that so many people had so many different emotions about. And for the first several months, there were a lot of moving parts to that. And so a mix of trying to be respectful, and I'm a chronic people pleaser, so I never want to say anything that's really going to upset anyone. And so that's part of the reason I didn't really say a lot. I did on my social media right away just to encourage and remind people that I'm still here. The faces you've connected with are still here, because a lot of people immediately were just very unsure what was going to happen. So
yeah,
let's get into what happened. At least, and it's our perspective and our experience.
Yes.
We don't have some written statement from BODi or something like that.
No, or anybody else. But
Right.
I will say for me, there was just when the shift happened and the announcement came, God, there were so many, there were so many emotions all at once and so many moving parts all at once that, like, you know me, I'm not I'm a stuff it down and get the job done. And it was like, I was about to launch Belvital. Like, I had literally just come off set. So I think for me, there was no time to truly process shifts and changes and everything, the implications that it was about to have. So I needed a minute.
So you literally just got off set?
Maybe for background information, what happened with Beachbody or BODi 9 months ago is that Beachbody didn't shut down. It's not that poof, Beachbody evaporated and is not present anymore. Beachbody as a company still exists. You can still buy the products. You can still purchase the programs, the workout programs, and also the nutritional programs the Super Trainers worked on. Autumn is one of these. The company still exists. The products still exist, but the business model changed drastically. And a lot of people were very emotional about that, because the recruitment aspect, that you're able to recruit trainers who are not professionals, they're not professional trainers, normal people who are interested in working out and in nutrition, you can recruit them into your downline and you're able to benefit off of these people and their works as well. And then you can also sell products and the workout programs. And the selling of the workout programs and the products still exists, but the network marketing side, the recruitment side, the team building aspect of Beachbody stopped to exist. So the products are still there, the supplements are still there. The one thing that has changed is the business model, from a very predatory business model to a fully affiliate, at least in my opinion. And a lot of people were shocked by that, because the community, if you think about it, would still exist. If you were interested in this, if you wanted to continue to do this, you could. But what broke away was pretty much the financial part. And that is why a lot of people were shocked. And I would suspect also a lot of the super trainers were shocked, because their financial income is probably also, or was, jeopardized as well, because Beachbody was going to make less and less money when the recruitment aspect of the business model, which is the essential part of a business model in network marketing, when that one broke away. The community could still exist. It does not exist anymore because a lot of people left BODi and they went to other network marketing companies. Lots of people went to Shackley. Lots of you also sent me content about former Beachbody people, about former Beachbody distributors who claim that the community was really the essential part in the products, when in reality it is about the recruitment aspect of the business model, and they continue to do that now in other network marketing companies. I'm sure it's also an emotional thing if a company changes like that, but just for clarification, Beachbody is still alive. It is still there, just in a different form.
When I say just got off set, the announcement came 2 hours after we wrapped.
Wow.
I walked into my kitchen. I didn't I had no idea an announcement about anything like had been made. And I was wondering where my background cast was because they were coming over too. And I'm like texting and calling, like, where are you guys? And it was hysteria of like, there's a video out. This announcement just happened. And I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Belle Vital was her latest program that you produced for Beachbody. And like she said, you wrapped it up and then the announcement came that BODi was going fully affiliate and that they were stopping the network marketing side of the program.
So, and I just got to say, as someone who has been in several programs, the day that you wrap is like a celebration. It's like, we did that. You feel accomplished. You feel like you can conquer the world. You're ready to take this product you just finished creating and present it to everyone, help all these people. You're on cloud 9. So I can only imagine. I wasn't in Belle Vital. I tried, but I didn't fit. I'm just kidding. For women's
hormone
hormones.
health.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure I can find a way. But I can only imagine. So let me ask you, because I get that you didn't know that announcement was coming at that moment. People see you really as like the queen of Beachbody, now BODi. Did you know it was happening and you just didn't know when? Like, were you surprised just that it happened that day, or did you actually not know that it was going to happen?
I had no clue it was happening. Like zero. And this is something that people keep saying, like autumn new, autumn new.
They're lacking a lot of specifics here. I'm surprised about that. Maybe it is catering to former Beachbody people who are in network marketing, who understand what network marketing is. But if this was about fitness and about nutrition and about Belle Vital, her hormonal program for women, another wonderful gem in Beachbody's program, in my opinion, then I would have expected some more information as well. Maybe they're getting to that. I haven't watched this thing before, but we're lacking specifics. What actually happened at BODi? They were kind of dancing around it. That's why I also explained it before, because I think it is important to understand what actually happened. Beachbody just shut down the recruitment aspect of the business model, and that's it. Now I say just, but it had of course a huge impact to the people who were in the company, who were not actually just interested in the community and in the products, but in the network marketing side of things, because then things fell apart.
It's insane. There's a million reasons. Like, I had no idea that the Coach Network was going away. Here's what I will say. I know that it had been being talked about, whether or not we were keeping the Coach Network or it was going to get moved to an affiliate model. We had this thing called the PAB, the Partner Advisory Board. So there's 10 partners that sit on this board. It rotates every 2 years. They're selected based on their involvement in the company. And it's those 10 partners who kind of represent all the other partners. And then the corporate. So CEO, head of the partner network, things like that. There are no trainers on that board. We have never been invited to sit in those meetings at all. Those people, they know way more about what's going on in the company than any trainer does. And it had been being discussed in those meetings.
Okay.
I know that because I know people that were on the PAB. But no, I had no clue. Like, let me just say this. I'm a pretty smart businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
I would have made... okay, let me be blunt. I got fucked 7 ways from Sunday on the launch of Belle Vital because the Coach Network went away.
Yeah.
I would have changed so many things if I would have known
that announcement was going to happen.
That was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, we're a public company. They would never in a million years take that risk of telling me, because even if I hinted at something, it could have been disastrous.
Yeah.
For everybody.
I would love for her to explain how she would have set the program up differently from a financial perspective. Maybe it is still coming, and why she is missing out on money. I can only guess. She very likely has the ability to make more money if the program is sold more often, if the partners or if the trainers use it more often. But since that part of the program, so the trainers, the distributors, the network marketing side of Beachbody, when that breaks away, she will very likely miss out on a lot of revenue as well, because most revenue in network marketing companies circulates within the company. And if the trainers have to purchase the programs themselves, if it's not part of the overall available programs anymore, then she is missing out on this as well, very likely, and that is maybe what she's hinting at. I would love for her to be more specific if she can. Let's keep on watching. Maybe she's going to mention this, but I can imagine that it must be a shock, because in the end, if you think about it, it is just a workout program. I find the approach to mess with women's hormones when you yourself are not a hormone expert, I find that absolutely appalling. But it's a workout program, and very likely also with nutritional aspects that you can still watch, you can still get. It is still available because Beachbody is available, but cutting out the network marketing side really had a huge impact, and pretty much everything broke away in Beachbody. That's why so many people were upset. And that's where I guess her paycheck was also affected, because she might have been involved in the success and she might have got certain commissions as well as a super trainer if the program performs really well. And with market partners, distributors, trainers leaving, she very likely missed out on a good amount of money as well.
And you, like myself too, maybe if you're listening, you might not know that I was a BODi partner before I ever met Autumn. So outside of just being a cast member, I was a part of the partner network, and a part of the partner network that I think represents a little bit more of the masses. Even though I was friends with people who were very high up in it, I was never that, I never was that high up in my ranking as a partner.
So he was a distributor as well, but he was also in the videos. There were certain incentives that the BODi partners, the distributors, let's call it what it is, the network marketers, that they were also able to participate in this. But what I always find very sketchy and very tricky is that people are able to mingle in different sides of network marketing, like appearing in these videos, having a close connection to the super trainers, having a close connection to corporate. Therefore, I would suspect having certain advantages as well, although he was not higher up because he didn't recruit enough people. But there is a lot of shady stuff happening behind the scenes, in my opinion. And in some companies, the family members of the owners of the company, so the owners of the actual corporate company, they're allowed to be participants in the distributor side as well. There's a lot of sketchy things happening, in my opinion, and it is this web of people that they're spinning within the company. I find that strange, and I don't find that very professional. It blurs the lines a lot.
But you were friends with so many partners, so you would have been, thinking of it now, like the worst person to tell, because you would have been thinking the desire to tell your friends, even if, but yeah.
Like, how would I get through filming?
Yeah.
With two people I care very much about, having that information in my brain. Mm-hmm. Here's what I can tell you. Here's what I did know. About a month earlier, I had gotten a call from legal, and we, like trainers, we had ambassador contracts. So like that, like they have to do with how we like sell like our supplements and things like that, and how often they'll request reels for us that they might boost into ads and things like that. So I got a call, and that I was losing that come December. So I think that call came maybe end of July, beginning of August, that my ambassador contract was going to go away in December. The ambassador contract is the only guaranteed money we have.
As trainers.
So a lot of us trainers rely on that because we have no clue what our paychecks are going to be month to month. None. Because it's based on something called qualified views. So how many people are working out to your programs, how many people are buying your programs, how many partners are selling your programs. There's no way for them to give us any kind of midway, mid-month anything. So aside from like that ambassador contract, I can tell you my paychecks have fluctuated drastically in the last year and a half. And by fluctuated, I just mean declined.
They tanked. Let's say it what it is. That's interesting, I think. So they get a certain base pay for the things, for the deliverables they have to deliver to Beachbody, like the reels and like the engagement posts, all of the things that Beachbody then can use for advertisement. but their actual program is based on how well it performs, which makes sense, right? To set up such a production, to set up all of these things in the studio, all of the people participating in this, all of this does cost a lot of money that Beachbody had to invest. And if a program doesn't perform well, then the trainer doesn't get paid as well either. So how many views are on those programs? Belle Vital, a hormonal program for women. Who is the core audience? It is very likely the market partners themselves. So if the market partner side of Beachbody breaks away, her paycheck, that part also breaks away. You can still sell these via affiliate links. You were also able to have access to that not just as a market partner, but as a customer. But let's face it, most people in Beachbody who were interested in the programs were the actual market partners. Now, with Beachbody, I think there was the phenomenon that a lot of people were actually quite fond of the programs because Beachbody did operate before as a not network marketing company where you could just get your hands on the products, on the workouts, and a lot of people remembered Beachbody from that, and then they transitioned into network marketing. But naturally, if network marketing is the basis, the market partners are the most important factor and are the most important money driver. And I guess that's what she's trying to say here, because of course her paycheck got screwed over when that program stopped. And it was really only about interested customers, people who wanted to use the program, who are not also market partners in the company. And it just shows yet again, and I find that very good, or she was more clear if she could be, that that is really the side that was the most important one in Beachbody as well. It's not the customers who love the program so much. It is the distributors themselves. And even in Beachbody, a company where I believe they do had actual customers, and they very likely have actual customers who like the workout programs, or at least who liked the old ones.
Unfortunately. And by the way, this isn't me knocking BODi. Like, I absolutely love the company. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. This is just a part of business.
Yeah.
And the fitness industry has changed drastically in the last 4 years. But
it is just business, and that's something that's, I think, very good and shouldn't be forgotten. It's just about business. You can create as much of a community and hopes and wishes as dreams as you want in a network marketing company. If revenue is down, if the business model doesn't work anymore, the company has to do something. But that is not just specific to the fitness industry that has changed. It is also down to network marketing that has changed drastically. And Beachbody tried a different step before when they rebranded from Beachbody to BODi, because they thought they had certain elements that were not necessarily up to date with the fitness industry anymore. But essentially, in my opinion, it was still the same company. And I think that Autumn is a good example that she's in a way a dinosaur of what a fitness industry should not be like. And that is to have those extremely restrictive programs. And I personally find it really, really horrible, like I said, that somebody's trying to mess with women's hormones, trying to make a quick buck there, in my opinion, when they have no clue what they're talking about, when they're not an expert. Working together with hormonal experts, as she claims she has done, doesn't qualify her, in my opinion, to release these programs. And the nutritional programs are just horrible. They're just horrible, in my opinion.
So, I'm literally trembling on the inside just trying to have this conversation. So I knew I was losing my ambassador contract, which was a chunk of money. Mm-hmm. I also had been told that layoffs were coming again, that another round of layoffs would happen after filming. And that was really devastating for me because I love the people I work with. And I didn't know who, they wouldn't tell me who. They just told me another round was going to happen. And that was so hard because it's that was the one thing that was hard on wrap day, because I was I know at some point there's going to be an announcement. I didn't know it was going to be on wrap day, but I knew it was going to be sometime soon after that layoffs would happen. And so it was as I'm leaving, I know I might not see these people again. And
you're talking about not the partners.
No, yeah, I'm talking about
crew. Yeah.
Crew product development, things like that. Like I didn't know who. I just knew around of corporate layoffs were going to happen again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad she clarifies that here. Layoffs affect the corporate side, not the market partner side. Layoffs always affect the actual corporate side of the people who were employed by Beachbody, like getting the studio ready, communication, people working in the warehouses. All of these are the people who are connected to the corporate side, not the market partners.
And that alone was hard.
Right.
To be like working with everybody every day and just being like, God, this sucks. And it's just a part of business right now. Like it sucks. But no, I had zero fucking clue that the coach network was going to go away. And I actually did end up sitting down with Carl like a week later and being like, why didn't you tell me?
She's talking about Carl Deichler here, the co-founder and the CEO of Beachbody or BODi.
And he was like, I couldn't. That legally, I could not tell you. And I'm like, okay, but like, I had 2 people in the cast, and this is not me talking bad about anybody. This is me saying I would have looked to protect everybody from every angle possible. Like, why did we put background cast behind me? Like, did you guys know you were going to do it that day? Like, oh my God, come on. Like, at that point, why didn't you just tell me we couldn't afford background cast? And it was like, anything we did that could have signaled that the network was going away, they're like, he said, he's like, we looked at it from every angle. And he's like, all I can do is apologize to you and tell you I'm sorry you got stuck in the middle. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, there was no way to tell me what was coming that might not have ended up signaling to other people that it was coming.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't know.
I was going to say, so
to answer people's questions, I didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
I was blindsided too. And
I guess that a lot of people probably speculated because she was so closely connected to Carl Deichler that she knew. But typically, when you really consider the business side, only very, very few people at the top of the corporate side of companies know when layoffs are coming or who specifically is affected by that. I work in the media industry, and the media industry is also going through huge changes and has never stopped since, I don't know, the past 10 years. Linear channels are dying, streaming is changing rapidly as well, and we also go through these changes regularly, and really only very, very few people know. There's lots of speculation, and I think the people within the company, they suspect when something is coming. They're aware that something is coming, but they don't know when, they don't know to what degree, and they do not know who is affected by that. And that can be something that can really take an emotional strain on you. I'm currently experiencing that as well. It is a lot when you go through those changes, when you go through a lot of restructuring, reorganizations, and when lots of people are being laid off and you have colleagues you've worked with for a while, you really like them, you really appreciate them, and then from one day to another, they're not there anymore. It can be a lot when you have to experience that as well, even when you're left and you have a job, when you recognize that a lot of people you worked with, you liked, you were very comfortable with, those people are gone from one day to another. It is like grieving in a way. You need to get over it as well rather quickly because life continues and you're expected to work as well. So those layoffs, they can have a huge effect. Absolutely.
Blindsided too. And yeah, it came 2 hours after wrapping what was supposed to be the biggest program of my career that and by the way, I'm still so proud of Belvital. Like,
of course.
But that was 2 years in the making. It was so much work. And then to get off of the set, and like we were supposed to be going out to dinner that night, celebrate, oh my God. And then this announcement happens. And I'm watching 2 people I care about sit at my table. And rightfully so, panic.
Yeah.
Panic about what does this mean for their future, for their financial stability. But you got to remember, I also am a smart businesswoman. So while it's happening, Like, I knew you had just signed a lease with Nell a few weeks earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could have known this and told Donald, like, don't sign that lease.
Nell's only income at the time was as a BODi partner.
Right. But within a few hours of the announcement happening, the hate that started online towards BODi started pouring in, which I understand the panic. I do. But there are a few things I want to clear up, but let me get this thought out first. So, like, I'm trying to process so many feelings in that moment. I'm trying to process the fact that I'm proud and we just wrapped and we're so close to launch. But at the same time, I'm watching my launch fall apart in an instant. I'm watching the hate spew. I'm watching people quickly say, fuck BODi, I'm out, da 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 da. And I'm like, I know what this means. I know what this means to the company. I know what this means to the launch of Belvital. Like, and I'm already starting to feel shifts in relationships, like instantly. But also, I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
You know this about me. Like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I can't sit in the problem. I'm going to try to sit in the solution. How can we make this great? What can we do? It's going to be okay. Like, so I do go into that mode instead of like
sitting in the sadness. Yeah.
Like, I go into fix it mode.
Yeah. I think there's pros and cons. Like, no one can handle a situation that totally takes them by surprise and has so many uncertainties. No one handles it perfect. And the fixer might try to over control, like manage, not let themselves feel their feels enough. But then, you know, some people, like, I really don't know how I am in those situations. I think I go a little numb and keep doing business as usual, I think, but it's hard for me to plan. It's hard for me to mourn. It's like everything feels like it freezes a little bit, but everyone handles things differently. But you're the kind of person that's like, okay, pivot. Let's make a plan. Pivot.
Literally. Well, and on top of it, right? So, like, again, all these things are happening, and a week later, we're going on the cruise, like the corporate cruise. And I'm like, okay, like we're all about to be trapped on a boat at sea.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. Timing there is essential. And of course, that's something you can also think through, because it comes across as much as I do not appreciate the programs that she has, I find them very, very unhelpful for women specifically. It is horrible if you consider, I just wrapped a program, I'm going to post about it, I'm excited, and then Beachbody says, oh, and by the way, we're shutting down the network marketing side of things. And she has a lot of privilege. She was able to make a lot of money because of the Beachbody programs that performed, that worked really well, because of the market partners. So she's in a way more privileged situation than most people in Beachbody are. Let's think about the people who've been in the company for a while. Their only way to feed themselves and their families is by being a Beachbody market partner, by being a network marketer. And from one day to another, they learn, hey, that will stop. You can still share the affiliate program, but you cannot be a market partner and you cannot benefit of your team anymore. So what do people do? They're annoyed, they're angry, and they're looking for other network marketing companies, because that really outs network marketing companies again and again and again. It's not about the community, it's not about the programs, it's not about the products, it's about the network marketing aspect that makes the most money. While some people might join network marketing companies in Beachbody also because they do like the programs and they just want to live a healthier life, they want to put movement into people's lives, that can change very quickly. And when that network marketing side is being terminated, it must feel like a rug is being pulled under your feet. And rightfully so, the market partners were extremely angry, because you hype up these situations, you hype up the company, the program, the community, how much corporate appreciates and loves you, and then you realize, no, they don't. In the end, it is just a business. And to be more grounded and to be more honest with yourself and to not be so dreamy, I think, can be very helpful in instances like that, when you have to recognize layoffs are a part of what we experience at the moment. Certain parts of a business shutting down are things we certainly currently experience, but that clashes with the mentality in network marketing companies, where everything has to be hyped and where everything has to be exaggerated so that the majority of people do not take a look at the core, why the business model is so rotten. In this case, it wasn't shut down because it was a bad business model, which it is in my opinion. It's extremely predatory. When most people lose money, it is because the company wasn't able to benefit anymore. And Beachbody is a publicly traded company, so they also have to be held accountable there. It's a business after all, and that completely clashed with the dreams and with the hopes and with the income that the Beachbody market partners, they lost that overnight pretty much. And that must be extremely devastating.
Are people going to come? Are people going to even want to hear anything? Because the announcement, just to be clear, was that the MLM part of the business was being dissolved, going away, and we were moving to affiliate marketing instead of MLM marketing. So I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can still get your hands on the amazing products, the amazing workout programs, and you can still participate in the amazing community. But all of that fell apart. Why? Because it's not about these things. It's about recruitment.
And I want to clear up a few things that I've seen said multiple times that I'm like, that's not entirely accurate. And well, or that's just inaccurate. And I feel like some things were said to maybe make BODi look bad, or because again, panic, hurt feeling.
You don't need to make BODi look bad. Beachbody already had a bad reputation. That is why they renamed the company to BODi, and they're a network marketing company. They were already in the decline back then. Network marketing companies are predatory systems, and people outside of Beachbody were already aware of that. But now the call came from inside the house because people within the company, they also caught up to that. That is what happens to financial cults. When that breaks away, suddenly people are more annoyed, they're more embarrassed, they're more infuriated than you would if you just had a normal job, because these things have to be hyped up. The community, the respect, you running your own business, which you obviously do not do if you can be terminated from your business. You can't. So Beachbody already had a bad reputation.
Hurt feelings, fear, all of that. But like, I saw a lot of people saying like, our money was taken away, like, our money was taken away, our jobs were taken away. And please understand, you guys, I very much can feel for, empathize, sympathize for everything that was happening, right? For everybody that was, how they built their business, the fact that that was changing and changing drastically and changing quickly. But I saw it positioned as if to imply that like MLM, like the MLM's gone and you're out of a job and there's no more and you're done. And the partner network stayed in place for 3 more months. Mm-hmm. So people could continue to run their business for the next 3 months as is. They were continuing to get paid as a partner the way they had always been paid for 3 more months, which, you know, that was Carl's choice doing because it was October. It was coming up on the holiday season. But I don't think what people realized was if that was the reason why the network was going away. There were a lot of people that hadn't been working the business in years that were taking, because of the way it was built, massive paychecks out, but without bringing any new income in. So a massive change had to be made because, again, the way that incomes got paid out and everything.
There was more money going out.
There was more money going out than coming in.
Yeah, and I mean, Carl Deichler, first and foremost, is a businessman. So to keep this running for 3 months as a transitioning phase, you could say that is more of a kind approach to the market partners. But when you recognize, oh, I now have to make changes, I need to try to get as many people on my team with me to some other network marketing company where I also have to grieve and I have to process what is happening here, you're under a lot of pressure to make that happen. Who stays in a dying network marketing company until the very last day? You need to start to set yourself up for the future and take as many people with you. And what I think she's alluding to here is the core of network marketing, how the market partners have established the business model publicly. Put in the work now, hustle now, build a big enough team so that you can benefit and profit off of these people, and you yourself do not have to do that much anymore. That's what I guess she is aiming here at the top people who did not bring a lot of newbies in, who did not sell a lot of product. They benefit of their teams until that breaks away. That is the core of network marketing and how it is being promoted, to do exactly that. To then turn around though and say, well, you know what, now that is a problem because it bites the corporate side in the booty. That is not a great approach, I think, because it is at the core what network marketing is about. Benefit and profit of others in the hopes that you make a lot of money, and you at some point, well, in the beginning you have to work around the clock and you really have to hustle and you have to do all the things that you need to do. You have to follow the Beachbody tracker. At some point when you're at the top, you can relax a little bit more. That's what you're working towards, so that you have the time freedom and the money freedom that you didn't have in the very beginning. And that is why network marketing is so rotten. That's why the business model sucks. And to then say, well, it's also up to you. You need to continue to work. When very likely the market partners also have been told, well, you know what? Build a big enough team. Live the golden life. But it shows that network marketing is not sustainable, not even for the top people. Of course they freak out because now they're able to make a lot of money. Now they have the big houses. Now they have the pricey cars. Now their children go to private schools. All of these things, you need to finance that. And you cannot do that by just an affiliate program, because what was the core of Beachbody? It was the recruitment aspect, the team building aspect. Network marketing is rotten, and Beachbody shows that very, very good, I think, very clearly.
Because so many people had built these big teams and then weren't working it. And so they're taking these huge chunks, and there was a lot of people not making any money. And these were things that people were complaining about anyways. And so
that is the structure of network marketing. Most people do not make money, and only the people at the top make a lot. But even that is not sustainable. That is network marketing, yet again, at its core. It doesn't matter which MLM it is. You can exchange Beachbody for any other MLM. It is the same stuff. So for her to complain about that means that she either really doesn't understand network marketing, or she's trying to protect Beachbody because she's very likely still affiliated with them and is very likely still a part of the affiliate program herself. That is the core of network marketing, to squeeze as much money as possible out of most people in the company so that only very few profit. That is network marketing.
That's just the business side of it, right? Mm-hmm. And I know because people pour their heart and soul into the company and loved it so much that obviously it was taken very personally, like a personal attack. And obviously this is not something that Carl wanted or anybody in the corporate side wanted. This was a business decision that had to be made to save the company as a whole.
Yeah.
Those are business decisions that have to be made in network marketing companies in general to save those companies. But there's exactly that clash. It's a business. But then you don't face the corporate side with the employees who know it's a business. You know what? You got paid over the past years or months, and now unfortunately we have to make changes. That sucks. And a lot of people can take that personally, and rightfully so. Also in network marketing, but there the difference is it's a commercial cult. So everything is being heightened. Everything is being seen through rose-colored glasses much more than any employee, in my opinion, could. And that's the clash. And we see that across the board, not just with Beachbody, but also with Sensi, with the oily MLMs, also with Monate. When shit goes down, it goes down. It's not pretty. It's like a really, really devilish divorce, and not two people who spend their lives together. They decide that they're going to go different routes, and they're doing that mutually agreeable. It's a commercial cult, and that's why business and the commercial cult side of things, overly loving, overly interpreting Beachbody as the savior, is not helpful. That's where it clashes.
And it sucks.
Well, that is something that really bothered me, and I just want to be be clear because of personal relationships and things. I saw someone post, and I'm talking about someone who I've never met in person. So not one of my friends involved or anything like that. I want to say who, but
I wonder if I know. Wait, go ahead. I don't know what you're going to say.
well, someone posted online and just instigated as if it was a strategic plan and sort of a lot of people were inciting anger. And it bothered me because I was like, I felt like this is really unfortunate. I had just that year gone on my first Success Club, which after being a partner for as long as I was, I should have done that sooner, but Nell and I were together. I started feeling the fire. So for me, when that, and I was shocked, and you and I have been best of friends since I moved to LA for almost 8 years now, and very close. And we've had a lot of personal, difficult conversations, and when one of us are going through something. And so I was like, what? And I found out because one of a partner on my team messaged me and was like, oh my God, BODi's doing away with the partner network. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I might have actually gaslit the fuck out of her for a minute, but like, no, that's not happening.
Sorry.
And so I called Nell. Well, I actually had to teach a dance lesson. It was the longest dance lesson I've ever taught.
Gosh.
It was only 45 minutes, but I was like, this thing's never going to end. I don't know what's going on in the world outside of here. And then I called Nell, and he was like, yeah, I'm just learning about it all. And so it was very like, I was as surprised as everybody else, and everyone has their different reasons of how it affected them. And so when I saw someone post, like, imagine someone telling you we're in this together, we're in this together, we're in this together, until they've built something and then they take everything you've built. And so what bothered me is that person was basically saying like that BODi did that on purpose to get ahead. And I knew from the beginning, even though I hated that it happened, it was a necessary, unfortunate decision. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anyone wanted it, but it's like doing what you can. And I also have been in rooms where I've seen, dozens of people, sometimes even more, who've lost over 100 pounds stand up. And because I've been in programs, I've been in places where hundreds, if not thousands of strangers over a weekend come up to me and tell me their stories. I can't even contain all the stories I'm hearing, but it's because it was so life-changing. So for me, I was like, this really sucks because it looks different than what I wanted. And it looks different than what I was planning and what I was trying, and not just my vision, but the vision I was selling to other people.
Right.
But it still changed those people's lives. And I'm not going to talk shit about that because it did. And, I would do it all again.
Right.
I mean, talk shit about it. I'm all here for talking shit about it. If his partner's only income at the time was being a market partner, that must have been a huge shock to know, hey, within 3 months, I need to do something else. I mean, good for him that he had other things he did besides Beachbody, but of course it sucks. And it sucks because also the corporate side of the network marketing companies are also responsible for this. They're hyping this up. They're setting up the market partner side. And I don't believe that people who work in network marketing companies who are part of the corporate side are necessarily evil. I do think that there are issues, and I do think that there are problems with the people who set up a network marketing company specifically, because those are the people where I believe they know very well that most people will lose money in this. But most people who work for the corporate side, they're just there to do their jobs as well. If you're not the founder, if you're not the president, if you're not the CEO, you're very likely just there to do your job as well. And you get a paycheck. So good for you. Lucky you. But the corporate side is also responsible for hyping this up. They have the conferences. They have all of the inspirational material. They give resources to their own top market partners to keep the people in the company and to hype the company up and to say, this is not just a normal company. This can be absolutely life-changing. But in the end, it's just a company. In the end, it's just a business. And that's where it yet again clashes with a commercial cult. And corporate, in my opinion, and also the super trainers, in my opinion, are also responsible for doing so because they were able to benefit and to profit off of the people as well. And then at some point, you need to handle the backlash. And backlash in this case is not always justified to the degree that it probably happened, because if people are hurt or emotionally destroyed, then they will say and do things they might regret later. But I would also say that's what you got to do. You were able to profit, you were able to benefit of the people, and now you have to sit through that until everything simmers down a bit, until you can actually start the affiliate program. You just got to get through with that. You just got to push through. That's how I see it. Also for the people from the corporate side and the super trainers. They need to work through their disappointment as well. I'm sure that also Autumn never wanted anybody to lose their income, especially if she's so closely connected to the market partners as well. But she was also able to benefit because those people pretty much paid her. And the more people watched her stuff, the more she got paid because of the contractual side. And that is down predominantly to the market partners and not just outside customers.
Well, two things I want to say. One is, I obviously too was devastated that the network was going away. All of my friends were partners, like all of them. So of course my heart broke for everybody. I was so sad. I loved that side. I loved our big events. I loved Summit. I love getting to go hear people's stories and celebrate them all weekend long or all week long. I was devastated that side was going away. And not just for me, but for everybody that it affected. But the other thing I wanted to say was, Tony Robbins teaches how to blame effectively. And I think it's so important to remember this. He says, if you're going to blame, you have to blame effectively. You have to blame wholly. So if you're going to blame for the bad, you also have to blame for all the good. I remember being at that seminar, and for me, that was I had to really take that in when it comes to my childhood and parents. And if I'm going to blame them for all the crap, I also have to blame them for all of the good that has come from that. For me learning what kind of parent I didn't want to be and the kind of mom I am to Dom and the drive that I have for work. But I would say the same thing comes into play here. If you're going to blame and be mad at BODi for it going away, you're mad because there was something so great there. There was something that changed your life there, whether it was a health journey, weight loss journey, a financial journey. I mean, there are people that made millions and millions and millions of dollars. I know it was a small subset, and those are usually the ones that are the loudest because that's a massive change for them.
Those are the people that are being pushed by corporate specifically to speak at those summits. The get-togethers with the community doesn't have to go away just because the network marketing side of Beachbody was stopped. You can still get together with people. Of course, not organized by corporate, but you can still have access to that community. None of that would have stopped. None of that should have stopped if that's really what the market partners wanted to do and continue to do, maybe in smaller groups as affiliate partners. Only very few people are able to benefit in network marketing. So it is really just a teeny tiny group of people. And these people are specifically and strategically placed by the corporate side at those summits to show how successful they are. And if you do the things they do, and if you change your physique, and if you recruit enough people, and if you sell enough, you can be just like them. Corporate pushes these things at the brainwashing events. That is what the conferences are for. That's their core value. Yes, getting together and also saying thank you to the people who bring in a lot of money, but also to push those people as the beacon of lights so that the most people in the company who don't make money, who don't make a lot of money, who hustle a lot, but the financial outcome is simply not there because it cannot be there because only very few people at the top are able to make a profit, then corporate is involved in that as well. They're the ones who are pushing the narrative.
But if you're going to blame that much for it going away, then you also have to remember to blame for all the good, all the traveling the world, learning how to build these teams so that you can go to other companies and continue to build that way, for meeting friends that you would have never met if it weren't for the company, for your life or your family's life changing, for the income that you did make for however long that was. Like, so there's always both, you know, where there's good, there's going to be bad, and where there's bad, there's going to be good. And what goes up must come down, and what is down is eventually going to go back up. So it was very heartbreaking to see so much negativity from people who had had such amazing runs with the company, and to not just go like, and the other thing that, you know, I saw a lot of people saying was like, they're stealing our customers. I do want to clear up what that meant.
Okay.
It wasn't that BODi was coming in and just saying like, hey, we're going to affiliate marketing and we're taking every person you've ever sold to. Like I said, partners, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because you were a partner. So if I'm saying something that is out of turn, please correct me.
Okay.
So the announcement happened. There was going to still be 3 months of being able to be a partner. And in fact, if people hit certain ranks, they didn't even have to hold any longer. Like a lot of times when you hit a certain rank, you have to hold for 7 weeks to get the bonus. Mm-hmm. It was like it was everybody that was already at that rank was getting locked in. So they were already guaranteed their bonuses. So that was like another thing that I thought, you know, was super honorable from from the corporate side, but nobody was mentioning like, hey, by the way, because I hit this level a week ago, I don't even have to hold it for 7 weeks like I normally would. I'm guaranteed this big bonus.
Yeah, maybe it comes across as kind, but if you're able to do this because you want to wrap up the company, pretty much the network marketing side of things, then why did the market partners have to hold that for 7 weeks before? Why not just say you hit the rank, you get the money? Because it's not beneficial. That's why it is. And in the end, very likely, very little people were even able to hit those ranks because a lot of people left right then and there saying, you know what, sayonara. We don't have the ability to recruit here in the future. I'm not going to invest a lot of time and effort into this because the recruitment aspect is the essential part and not the selling of the products via affiliate.
So because we're switching over to affiliate marketing, things happen on different platforms. Like we were moving over to something called Impact. Mm-hmm. There's just certain things that can happen in that app or on that site and certain things that couldn't. So it, like, if a customer were to buy from you, sign up from you, they're like now tied to you forever as a partner. When we were going to Impact, you basically needed to get all of those people to now use your new Impact link and your new discount code for you to then get paid. It wasn't like they could all be moved over.
Right.
If you didn't reach out to them, or if they decided not to buy from you and decided to buy from somebody else, then no, under the new affiliate, you wouldn't get that sale. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that, or if somebody was on an auto renew, if you didn't get them to cancel and rebuy with the new link, essentially from Impact, then no, that auto renew would roll over to just going to BODi
after the 3 months or whatever
it was. Correct.
It was at least 3 months. I just don't remember if that even.
I don't remember all the specificity, but people did, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but within your partner back office, you had every email of every person you ever sold to, so you could download those emails, you could newsletter them, email them, hey, we're switching over to affiliate marketing, I would really appreciate it, you know, I've loved working with you, I want to continue to work with you, here's my new link. I know it's a little bit of a pain, but like, if you cancel and blah blah blah, like, then you'll still be with me. So like, those things could have happened. Mm-hmm. A lot of people did not stick around to even try the affiliate side. Yeah. It was literally like the announcement happened, anger, fear were out.
Gee, I wonder why. Because it's not about actually selling the products, and nobody realistically, because change sucks. There is also currently a lot of change happening within my company with certain technical aspects. To go through these things, to learn new things when you already learned something for years and then you need to unlearn it to learn something new, being vague here on purpose, but that sucks. And if you have to put in more work to receive less outcome, then that also sucks. Even when the focus is on your customers potentially, you need to message the customers and say, hey, if you would like to continue to be with me, then please sign up here. Here's the link, cancel this, cancel that. It's not a good sign for the customers, and you need to put in more work to very likely get less outcome. Nobody wants that. Understandably, people are mad. And in the end, if the outcome is better, you get used to new workarounds as well. But the essential part of the business model broke away, and it's surprise, most people left then and there because that was the money maker. And then on top of that, if you have to change your ways to actually sell the products and you want to take a look at it and you want to check it out, although you know you won't make as much money, it is not possible. When you have a team with hundreds of people or thousands of people and you're able to benefit off of them, why would you want to put in the work to deal with a couple of customers? That is extra work, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to do extra work for less outcome. I don't want to do that either.
And again, it was really hard. I can see how hard it was on everybody's side, but I was experiencing it too. And it was like, I don't know if it was just bad luck that I was the launch that was coming up.
Feels like pretty fucking bad luck.
I mean, it was pretty fucking bad luck. Like, let's be honest, because it was like, I somehow turned into the bad guy. I don't know why, but it was like,
what?
I don't know. I turned it like, imagine pouring 2 years of your heart and soul into learning and creating a program that nobody else has ever done. Like, there's all these little, take this pill for hormone health or do this thing for hormone health, but there's no comprehensive program. And so I spent 2 years, and all these people that have gone through the test group and all these people that cannot wait to get their hands on it, the announcement happens. They're like, we're out. We're not even sticking around for this affiliate thing. They're saying that BODi took away their way to make money, essentially implying that there was no way to keep selling, even though there was the affiliate side that was going to be there. I know, very different than building a team, but
yeah, it's not the same. And the money maker is in the network, in getting as many people in, benefiting off of them, profiting off of them, while most people on the team will uneventually will for sure lose money. While most people on that team will not make a profit. It's not about selling the products. The core of network marketing is not the products. It is not even with a company that was known for their products before they became a network marketing company. That doesn't work when you change back. I think that's a good example. It's not about the selling of the products.
But there was the affiliate side. But then to watch those same people go to other companies that had already possibly gone through my program, so had all the information and all the details of what my program was, and I'm watching them post on Facebook and Instagram. I'm over here and we're starting our own hormone health program with Pilates. I mean, I literally saw it. Like, and I would have to screenshot it and send it to legal and be like, can we make sure that they're not knocking off Belvital? Because like, that's 2 years of my hard work and the team's hard work and proprietary supplements and all this stuff. And like, it felt like such a direct attack. It was like they knew Belvital was coming and that might be a big thing that people wanted. And instead of being an affiliate and selling it, it was like, no, fuck you, BODi. We're going to knock it off instead. I'm going to go over here to this other company and we're going to knock it off instead.
That's also called business. If you have a group of people who you think might be interested in a program, but for whatever reason they're not sticking with a company, they're going to another company and they're trying to replicate that. And if they're doing that in a smart way, then they're also safe from a legal side, because she doesn't gatekeep hormonal programs. I have very little empathy for her in that case, to be honest with you, because this hormonal program, Belvital, is absolutely horrible in my opinion. The restrictive nutritional programs, just the same thing. I have very little empathy for that one. And you could say it's business. If you know that something might work for a certain group of people, companies will replicate that and will try to throw it on the market quicker.
And then I saw people using their before and afters from the test group and saying, and this is, I'm not talking about somebody that I'm close with. I'm talking about other people, because I had a big test group. I had like 50 women that went over to other companies and were like, oh, come over here and do this 5-day hormone cleanse with me. And they're showing their before and afters. And I'm just like,
I always say before and after pictures are stupid, and they are. Sometimes people even advertise programs with people who've never done those programs. Is that good? No. Is that authentic? No. Is that illegitimate? In my opinion, yes. But I guess that's actually called karma, and she's experiencing something that people might have also done in Beachbody to promote her programs to show progress, although it wasn't necessarily her program. It's fishy, yeah, but maybe it's karma.
This is why I say there's been a lot, because it's like I'm not allowed, like I felt like I wasn't allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to have your feelings, Autumn. We're allowed to do whatever we need by all means necessary to make our income back because BODi screwed us. Like, so I just was like, all I can do is my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's essentially also, I think, what is expected of you. She was in a very privileged situation, and she was able to make a lot of money because of the Beachbody programs. And when you are in that privileged situation, it doesn't mean that you cannot have feelings. Everybody has feelings. It must be devastating for her as well, especially when the announcement go and affiliate clashes with the program. She has the financial needs and the financial worries. You can deal with these things privately while showing empathy to the market partners who are very likely worse off. And I'm not talking about the people at the top who were actually able to make millions over their time in Beachbody. I'm talking about the people who were absolutely devastated. And getting that kind of backlash, I can only imagine that kind of shitstorm must be absolutely horrible. But also show empathy towards those people and recognize your privilege and maybe deal with these things in private. That is a hard lesson you sometimes have to learn. That's why you get paid more. That's why you're more privileged.
And my job, by the way, in my eyes, is and always has been to help people improve their health. And that's what I'm always going to keep doing. That's my love. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. And so, did it suck? Does it suck? Yeah. We should have been at Summit last week.
Right.
It still is hard.
Yeah.
But it's business.
Yeah. I think, you know, in situations like this, it's hard because there's like just factual truths. And then when people say, you know, well, this is my truth, or this is my, you know, what they're feeling. And so, you know, I'm such an empath. It's really a mind fuck sometimes. But even though I get people's fear and frustration for the change. And even those words kind of feel like for some people, it doesn't do it justice. And, you know, as a partner, I know that it's scary, and sometimes doing the scary thing changes you. And so when someone starts as a partner, it's scary to send the first message and then to tell people that you're starting, doing this challenge group, and you're starting a business, and you're partnering with this company using their programs and products, and you encourage other people to follow in your footsteps. And so if I really because I felt that, and being a BODi partner was never my main source of income. So when I think about what some people out there, people I've never met, just thinking literally about because at the height of it, there were 400,000 BODi coaches / partners. I know that it makes sense to go through the phases of loss. And one of those is anger,
of course,
and to feel like your customers were stolen. But I also know. And so I just want to say that to validate the feelings that anyone out there had. I do think, and again, I'm talking about people that I don't know. There's a few people who like I've only ever seen online who went really aggressive really fast. And I didn't like that, but also because I'm someone who BODi changed my life. And it's not just with the partner opportunity. It was doing your program the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I was like, oh, this is amazing. And so anyways, for me, it was really difficult because I was not going to stop doing BODi. to me that was like, if they're there, if it's there, I'm doing it. And also I'm so familiar with the programs. I was like, I'm not going to stop doing challenges, but I also really do empathize for anyone who really built a big network with BODi, how that felt in that moment. I do hope, and this is just for people's healing in general, that most of those people, because the fact is the majority of partners in BODi were not very high up partners. Like there were a lot of people who were not even selling like I was. And so I hope that those people are still living their best life and they're maybe running challenge groups, because you can still run your own challenge group. You can do it for fun. You can, whatever, you can do it however you want. And you can use the affiliate program with BODi to share the programs and the products that you love, just like you always were. And so I hope that people are doing that, but I hope those who it really affected them losing the network partner opportunity, that they do feel that if that's what they love, that they found another place doing it. And maybe they're in hindsight, like, okay, my worst case scenario fears didn't come true, and they can remember the years with BODi more fondly, because all I have are fond memories. And I'm still creating them. I'm still with BODi. I'm still a part of that. But I mean, just thinking of that time, thinking of the summits and the super weekends and all of that energy, I'm holding on to that energy, and that's what I bring to the table still in my challenges. And people come up to me still and recognize me from being in programs. And like someone said to me once, it's a shame what happened with BODi. And I said, well, what happened? Like, I know what happened, but I was just wondered what she thought happened. And she said, well, I don't know, but I think it just changed. And I said, well, part of it has changed, but you need to know. I said, were you a BODi partner? She said, no. I said, well, it hasn't changed for you. There's still community. There's still programs. Everything that you loved about it is still there. So that's my truth. And I really do say that with holding space for everyone. But how could I be mad at something that changed my life this much for the better? The friends I've made, the experiences I've had, all the things. But without BODi, I would not be sitting in this chair. I probably wouldn't know you, and I might not live in LA.
And you wouldn't have your boyfriend.
I would have my boyfriend. I mean, I don't know if what would be going on in my life.
We're in the world with Donald B.
Yeah.
I think that's a healthy approach, but that only works if you're really just interested in the programs and truly in the community side and in the product side. If you're not caught in this financial cult side that is in network marketing. And if that part breaks away, you cannot see things objectively. Or if you see them objectively, you cannot stay within Beachbody, because the true money is not in sharing affiliate links. The true money is in the team building. So you need to find a new home. You need to find a new place where you can go together with the most people on your team. And then you need to do what you did in Beachbody before. That's simply a reality. And the companies themselves, they don't put themselves up like a normal company. They're inspirational. They're special. Corporate is responsible for this as well. And then they're surprised when that breaks down, because you're not establishing a normal company. You're establishing a commercial cult. And you cannot stay in a commercial cult and appreciate a commercial cult when that breaks away for you, when the financial basis breaks away for you. You need to move on to another cult that then becomes the financial cult that you're embracing. So those are then the insiders, and the former cult are the outsiders. And that must happen very, very quickly overnight when you don't want to miss out on money through the transition phase, in this case of 3 months. That needs to happen very, very quickly, to the degree that I believe a lot of people don't have the time to really think about it. So what he has there is a more healthy approach to say, I like the programs. I didn't even do a lot in the partner program, but I like the programs. I like the supplements. I will continue to use them. And if I can make a sale here or there and make some money, I don't expect this to be my full-time income, then I'm good. But most people simply don't relate to that because they're being sold on something else. by corporate and also by the higher up people in the company, by the higher up distributors.
I do want to say, I hope that in trying to explain like all of this, right? It's like a messy, there's not an easy way to talk through it all, that it doesn't sound like I am dismissing anybody's feelings, because that is the last thing I would ever want somebody to think, is that I was not empathetic towards how drastically that change affected people's lives.
Yeah.
Because I very much am. And like I said, I very much feel for it. I'm just also trying to explain all the different emotions that I had going with it.
I feel that. I don't think that you sound like you don't understand at all. And I think that people want to know how you felt in it, because you're like, the face of BODi, but you aren't BODi corporate. You aren't BODi partner. And I think that, and also you've changed so many lives. I mean, all the people who come up who are excited to meet me, they met me because they love your programs, and they showed up to the program, and I was just like a fun little bonus. Not one of the bonuses that you do that I hate.
You hate.
So.
Well, the other thing I want to say is that I know people are tuning in waiting to see if we address relationships that have changed. And that is not something that, besides what I'm saying right now, that is not something I will ever address or ever talk about. Yes, relationships have changed. That might be the most devastating part of it all for me.
Yeah.
But I won't ever talk about it, because I can absolutely hold space for those relationships and what they meant to me at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't, and I won't say anything negative other than I have loved every moment, every person I've gotten to meet, every stage I've gotten to be on, every story I've gotten to hear. I'm grateful for it all. It all makes us who we are today. Does my heart break for things changing? Of course. But if people were tuning in for tea or gossip,
yeah.
Sorry, girls, you're not gonna get it you're not gonna get it from me. That's just not something. I just can't ever bash things and people that meant the world to me for a decade.
Yeah.
Anti-MLM has said that from the get-go, that community and those relationships, a lot of them very likely are conditional. And they are. If that community breaks away, if that business model breaks away, if the financial basis of your income breaks away, the community and those relationships also break away. And if one side is still holding on to these relationships, then that must be very hurtful. But they're based on conditions. Then in that case, maybe they're not true friendships. I do not know the people she's talking about. I don't know any specifics. I'm speculating here. But it's conditional. It's a network marketing company. Well, it was. And that's why it broke away. And that's what anti-MLM has said for years. And it looks like it's true. It's proof to me.
Well, yeah. I appreciate you saying that. I've said a couple times, I'm not talking about anyone I know.
Yeah, trying to be very clear.
Because some people might say, oh, I've seen, and they're very clearly talking about,
right.
And it really, when that announcement came, there were people's faces I didn't even know existed. I was seeing, say, wild things online, and I have not spoken about anyone that I know, but I am glad you said that, because I think I'm happy. I want people to realize that there are just some things that don't need to be drama, because it actually is. Was whatever, very important and very tender. And I think, like, I've never, I'm the kind of person, honestly, where I still wholeheartedly say that I love everyone I've dated. Because if you spend time with someone and if you love them, maybe it didn't work out, or maybe your lives came to a fork in the road and you had to go separate ways. But that person still was a big part of my life. And it's not just about respecting them. It's about respecting the part of me at that time.
Yeah.
So it's just onward and upward from here. But I have been getting so much life personally from the challenge you and I have been doing.
So much fun.
It's so much fun, and it's the thing that I think people somehow in all the commotion thought was lost, that we get to say it's still here. The community, the support, the everything about it is still here.
Yeah.
And so it's been really good for me. 'Cause it's hard.
And it's obviously not still here. The essential part broke away. The essential part was shut down. So it's not here. That's what I always said as well in the Beachbody videos from former distributors, or at the time distributors, who were distraught. The community should still exist. The product still exists. You can still sell. But of course, it's not the same. That's the thing. It's not the same. When the network marketing side of a network marketing company breaks away, it is not the same. And it shows it's the core. Because why else would people be shocked? And they would be devastated if the community still existed.
But I will say, like, even the fears Nell and I had, you guys, we've talked about, we're both from, Autumn and I are both from Ohio. When I signed my first lease in LA, I remembered thinking, am I out of my mind? I might as well just move on the streets now. I can't afford this. And then like every time I would sign a lease, I'd be like, Autumn, but if shit goes bad, can I please stay at your house again? So when the news came and we were at the apartment and there was that fear, I'm happy to report, just like most fears that we have, our greatest fears didn't happen. Things are going great and we're keeping it moving. Yeah. And Nell and I still go press play on BODi pretty much every day. So
I love that.
We're here for it. And, thriving in our new lease. So
I do love it. And I love everybody that is still here with us and still a part of the journey. And, this is the next chapter, and I'm hopeful about it. Like, cautiously optimistic, I guess you could say, of like, great, this is where we're headed. Like, I'm always going to do what I said, which is my passion has and always will be to help people lead healthy, fulfilling lives. So I'm going to do that to the best of my ability, no matter what. I hope that one day there's live events of some kind, whether it's being put on by BODi or whether you and I are getting groups together, because I do, we did a Friends episode. I actually was thinking about this the other day. I have to say this. So yesterday I went down to El Segundo. There's a place called Love Life. From the guy who started Whole Foods. Oh. So it's like a whole wellness center. And I went to go tour it because I might want to sign up down there, because like full on longevity, doctors, functional medicine, gym, cryotherapy, cold plunge, hyperbaric, like you name it, they have it. And as I was like touring the facility, because it's really big, and it was like, oh, and here's our yoga and Pilates studio, and then here's the Pilates reformers classes, and here's this. And I'm like, I might ask them if I can host a live one-off workout here. Do an event. I mean, it wouldn't be for hundreds, we're in LA, and it would be for like whoever would be in the area. But sometimes the hardest things open up new, beautiful opportunities that you might not have thought about, like without being forced into being more creative or being more resourceful or thinking ahead and planning more. So I'm looking at it from all of those angles. Like, I have some things in the works that are outside of BODi that I'm really excited about. Like, hopefully by the fall, there will be something launching that is a thing outside of BODi. I don't want to say what it is yet, but it's, what it is.
I know. I was like, I can't
and
wait
I'm
for
like,
people to hear.
Come on. I just want to get it done. But it's, business, it takes a long time. So yeah, I look forward to whatever the next chapter brings. And I do wish everybody, no matter what people think, I really do wish success and happiness for everybody. I don't want to see anybody struggle. I don't want to see anybody fail. I want people to go out there and love life and live it big and bold and beautiful and happy in whatever way works for them.
Yeah. And I want to say too, because this was a little bit of a weepy podcast.
Sorry.
No, no, it's good actually. I was like, yes, this is good. This is good footage. I'm kidding.
You suck.
I'm totally kidding you guys. But on a serious note, this isn't morning BODi. I still wholeheartedly love BODi, and BODi is still very much around. It's just that shift was a really big shift, and it did affect both of us emotionally. It caused us to look at face a lot of really big fears, to strategize differently, and also remind, like you said, you're going, no matter what, you're going to continue to, I forget your exact words, help people live a healthier life, or
Healthy, fulfilling life.
healthy, fulfilling life. And so that is like leaning into what I can control, because there's some things that are just out of our control. But the things that I can is I'm going to show up for people just like I always have. And I know that you are. And I know that the thing that made me fall in love with fitness and this new lifestyle is still available to me. And that is for me, that's found on BODi right now, the specific programs and all of that. So it's not that there's this sadness about BODi, but it's the complications and weight that I think we've kind of kept inside in ways that just pulls on some heartstrings.
Yeah. A little cathartic episode for us.
That's what happens when commercial cults stop. Because somebody says, nope, you cannot recruit anymore now. You can only sell. That's what it is. And it does have a lot of impact on a lot of people. And even the people who are not caught up in the culty side of network marketing, if the financial basis of your life, how you feed yourself, your children, how you have a roof over the head, how you can do what you need to do to stay healthy, if all of that suddenly breaks away, then that is absolutely devastating. And we were able to witness this. And we're currently also able to witness this with other companies who are struggling, who are still fighting this off. Whether it is Make Wellness, they shut down. No, not Make Wellness, Modere. Make Wellness is next. Hopefully, in my opinion, allegedly. It's not. But when Modere shut down, they just shut down from one second to another, also outing the hypocrisy. Apparently, the distributors, the market partners, are not that appreciated if you cannot even give them a heads up. It's just about business for corporate. It's just about the business side, but then you present this business as something else to others. And you do that, in my opinion, very viciously to keep people in the company, to bring people into a company so that you can benefit and you can make money. We see the same with Monat as well. Monat is struggling. Monat is fighting. We're going to push through. And some of the very top people, they're also struggling. They're also fighting. And there will be a rude awakening for them as well once Monat shuts down. And Beachbody was one of those companies where we were able to see that and the effects it had on people, and it apparently still has. 9 months after the network marketing program shut down, or 6 months, 9 months after the announcement.
Get it out, process some feelings. But yeah, and listen, I think the way that we have now, we actually just switched over. So we actually just switched from Impact over to something called Social Ladder for the affiliate program. And if people have ever thought about it or wanted to do it, or or are doing BODi and are like, oh, well, I am telling my friends about it, so why not have a link? It is the easiest thing. Like I was like, oh, we should have started with this, but you don't know what you don't know until you try.
Yeah.
So BODi didn't know.
Trial and error.
There's tons of companies that use Impact. So they used Impact, and then there was some limitations that were getting frustrating. And so they switched over to this new platform called Social Ladder. We just switched over to it like 2 weeks ago, and it is so easy, and anybody could sign up for it, and you do as much as you want. So like if you love Energize and you're always drinking Energize and you're talking about it and you want to be able to send somebody a link, whether it's on a social media or just text in your regular life and text or whatever, like
do it.
Everybody's doing it, right? I'm watching people on Instagram, I'm watching people on TikTok, you know, they link everything. So it's one more way. Nobody's saying it has to be your main source of income or whatever, but if you love doing the programs, if you love the supplements, if you love the nutrition, the cookbooks, whatever it might be, like sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it is truly affiliate marketing and just about selling the product and the programs. But to me, the mindset and the mind shift is still in the culty olden ways. It is still in network marketing, and that doesn't change so easily. And a lot of people took off. They don't want to do it. Why? Because it's not about selling the products.
so many people when they started, even when they started as the network, right? Like people would say like, I just signed up because I needed to buy baby formula or diapers were expensive, or I just wanted to help contribute a little bit more to the groceries or whatever the household bill was. Like a lot of people when they first started, they weren't trying to become millionaires. They were just trying to make a little extra money.
Yeah.
And all I know is Lord help these times that we're in right now.
These streets, who can't use a little extra money?
Who can't use a little extra dollar here and there? I know I can.
And also, with all that said, if you don't want to be an affiliate, send your friends and family to the Everything's Perfect podcast Instagram. We have our affiliate link linked, and we'll hook you up.
But you know what, Dee? Let's drop in the show notes. This is not like a shameless plug, but I guess it's a shameless plug. If people want to sign up for an affiliate, let's drop in the show notes the link to do it. Because sometimes people might just be like, well, I don't know where to go. So we'll drop it in the show notes. Signing up has nothing to do with me or Donald. We don't get paid. Nothing. Yeah. It's all about you. Literally, you sign up, do what you want with it.
Yeah.
But we'll and put it there.
Also for new affiliates, BODi is very good about like they are in constant contact and teaching. So you'll be supported. If you're interested in it, you should do it.
Yeah.
Yep, we're done. I'm not going to expose you to all of the contact information. There is no need for that. I found that rather interesting. A long ass video, but I think it was worth it because it shows what it looks like to people who were so immersed in commercial cults as the super trainers, as market partners, what happens behind the scenes when people have to experience a network marketing company dying down, because it is not the same as shilling affiliate links. It is not because the products are amazing, the workout is amazing, the community is amazing, these things, and they're right about that, these things still exist. But what is missing? The recruitment aspect. It's about making money. And once you're getting used to making a lot of money, you don't want to miss out on that. And that's why the top people or the mid-range people whose maybe main income is based on network marketing, they need to figure something else out and they need to go somewhere else. And on top of that, because it's a commercial cult, working with, in my opinion, cult tactics, the corporate side as well as the distributors, it is something that you cannot just easily forgive when a company changes the compensation plan or shuts down. There's more devastation than there would be if you lost a job or if you left a job, because it's a cult-like environment. And those people will not easily forgive Beachbody or the people working on the corporate side, or also the super trainers, the people who hyped up the company and they believed that, and then all of that stopped to exist. So you need to exchange one cult for another one if you want to continue to work in network marketing. At least that's what I believe. I'd be interested to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you do not want to miss out on further videos. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!